Heading down right now to meet with the guy. He's got an 80-acre farm down here in Union County, and he's thinking about splitting it and selling off roughly about 50 acres of it. So we drew up a few different layouts of how we think we could do that and make it a piece that'd be attractive for somebody to buy. But it's just a pretty good mix of income-producing ground and also timber. Got a nice creek that runs through it, so, and a little pond as well, and it's on this paved road that we're on right now. So I think it'd be a pretty attractive piece. We haven't seen it in person, but from the map it looks like it lays out pretty nice. So he's on his way up to Des Moines, so we're kind of crossing paths at the farm and going to talk about this piece. He does have another one closer to Creston that we're going to talk about as well, and potentially get that one listed. It's near the 12-mile lake, which would make a nice little spot for somebody wanting to have a weekend retreat type getaway. So he's got like this little jog right here where the fence starts. It goes up and then cuts back west, and then it's basically a straight 80 from there. Really?
That bale of hay, see it on the second hill?
Yeah.
That is really close to the 10-acre line.
Going this way?
The
east-west?
The west 10 acres of the south 40.
Yeah. But that line's probably right, right on the section because there's a fence there.
Yep, keep coming.
So I bet it's right in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's
so that's
which is going to make it over the break of that hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's plenty enough room on this hillside right here where somebody could put a house and a shop, and then they could have all kinds of ground out back to go play around on whenever they wanted. Well, we'll drive around. Is there a key or anything, lock or anything like that on that gate?
No.
Do you keep it open?
I leave it open.
Okay. Well, it was kind of fun catching up with Tom. I've known him a long time. He was actually the first guy I ever sold a farm for here in Iowa. We sold a piece there in Madison County that butted right up to Hamel State Park. I remember the day pretty well because it was actually first day, opening day of shotgun season, and we were in the middle of a state park where there's no hunting allowed, and I was jumping out of the truck and going across the property to take pictures of the farm, and figured, it is, even though it's a state park and I'm right next to the state park, probably should go ahead and throw some orange on so I don't get myself shot. And about that time, the game warden for Dallas County and Madison County pulled up wondering what exactly I was doing walking across the field with blaze orange on. And of course, once he saw I had a camera in my hand and not a gun, he calmed down a little bit, but that turned into a good relationship and ended up getting that farm sold for Tom, and here we are all these years later, and he's got a couple other pieces that we're looking at. The piece we just left was a pretty interesting piece. It says here in Union County, just northeast of Creston, and it's actually on a paved road just outside of Lorimer as well, so it's kind of between Lorimer and Creston. It sits on a paved road. It's got some income, definitely could do a little bit of hunting on it, building potential, and got a pond out there, all kinds of deer sign on the place, a few turkey feathers here and there, so be interesting to see what the demand's like on that piece. But we're heading now to the next one. We've got another piece that we're going to sell for Tom. It's probably going to end up being about 40 acres. It's not quite surveyed yet, and pretty open or flexible on exactly how the lines shake out. So probably going to advertise it as somewhere between a 35 and 40. We got to map out the details to figure out exactly where the lines will likely end up, and then we'll leave it up to the buyer. But that's pretty common on properties when you're splitting them. Most of the time you're going into it, you don't really want to spend all the money, or for the seller's sake, you don't want to have them spend all the money to advertise the property and then find out that they get a buyer that would want to end up purchasing the property if it were just like another acre more or an acre less, or the line was a little bit different. So typically we advertise them on a price per acre and estimate what the acres might end up. Like I said, in this case, it'll probably end up being 40 acres or pretty close to it. But then we just hold off on the survey until we have someone that wants to make an offer on the property, and let them kind of work out the final details. So that's pretty typical. It makes for a little bit longer closing, but it adds a lot of flexibility to the deal and helps both sides, you know, be able to negotiate to get what they want. So. Be the southeast, roughly 30 acres, 25 acres, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's going to be a 10-acre chunk on the west side where the gate is, where there's close to the sign. There's some tractors and stuff parked there currently.
Yeah.
There'll be 10 acres right there, and then it's the back 40, 45, I guess you'd say. North is 45. That's how it'll break out.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, thanks for the information.
All right, thank you. That was a lady just called me from another real estate office down by Creston. They apparently just passed by the property we got for sale and wanted some information on it.